Good day, my name is Alana Mariel Tejada, and today I will discuss Holistic Dynamic Theory by Abraham Maslow. In this outline, we have biography of Maslow, definition of humanistic theory, overview of holistic dynamic theory, Maslow's view of motivation, self-actualization, measuring self-actualization, critique of Maslow, concept of humanity. Abraham Maslow was born on April 1, 1908, in Brooklyn, New York to Samuel and Rose Maslow. He was the oldest of 7 children, and his parents were Jewish immigrants from Russia and were the only Jewish family in Maslow's neighborhood. From his childhood, Maslow's isolation was not limited to his neighborhood and school. He faced a variety of problems at home that also led him to withdraw himself from society. His father was alcoholic with high expectations, regarded Maslow as ugly and stupid, and his mother was insensitive and unloving, viciously attacked Maslow's physical appearance, showed no affection and compassion, so that Maslow internalized his parents' words. He believed he was ugly and repulsive to the point where he couldn't board a subway car with other passengers, worried that he would burden them with his physicality. This is the beginning of his life. Maslow married with Berta Goodman on December 31, 1928. His wife was his longtime sweetheart and first cousin. They were 20 and 19 when they married. They had 2 daughters, Anne and Ellen, and happily married until death. At the age of 17, Maslow enrolled in the City College of New York. He attempted studying law to please his father, but after only 2 weeks, he realized it wasn't for him. He transferred school several times as he searched for what motivated him. His final transfer was in 1928 in the University of Wisconsin, where he graduated with his BA in 1930, his MA in 1931, and his PhD in 1934. While at the University of Wisconsin, Maslow worked under Harry Harlow and Edward Thorndike, both distinguished psychologists of the time. What is humanistic theory? Humanistic theories used within social work practice originated from humanistic psychology, which developed in response to the psychodynamic and behavioral theories that focus on human behavior and personality being determined by the unconscious or through reinforcements from the social environment. Phenomenology and Existentialism are 2 theoretical schools of thought that underpin humanistic theory. Phenomenology is the exploration of conscious perspectives and experiences of phenomena and the meanings one attributes to such phenomena. Existentialism focuses on individual existence and the meaning one gives to her or his life. Humanistic theory can be found to underpin aspects of developmental theories, such as Maslow's hierarchy of needs, where an individual aims to achieve self-actualization, and Erickson's later stage of old age, ego, integrity versus despair, as well as many therapeutic approaches that aim to explore and respect the experiences of individuals as humans and the meanings they attribute to such phenomena. Humanistic theory underpins Rogers' person-centered approach, which highlights the importance of empathy, unconditional positive regard, and genuineness in developing a therapeutic relationship that will lead to personality and behavioral change within the client.
Hi, I'm Bianca Ray. Let us move on to the next topic, the holistic dynamic theory. Maslow referred to it as a holistic dynamic theory because it assumes that the whole person is constantly being motivated by one need or another and that people have the potential to grow toward psychological health. That is self-actualization. Maslow's theory of personality rests on several basic assumptions regarding motivation. First, Maslow adopted a holistic approach to motivation. That is, the whole person, not any single part or function, is being motivated. Second, motivation is usually complex, meaning that a person's behavior may spring from several separate motives. A third assumption is that people are continually motivated by one need or another. Another assumption is that all people everywhere are motivated by the same basic needs. Next is the structure of personality. Maslow defines the personality structure in terms of being able to progress up the pyramid of self-actualization. For Maslow, the hierarchy establishes some of the basic needs like shelter and food. Maslow argues that the structure of the personality is reflective of progression of self-actualization. If we look at the photo on the right side, we can notice that the physiological needs up to the esteem needs are referred to as the more basic need, which require more priority in order to be fulfilled. While the highest need or the level of self-actualization require less priority in order to be satisfied. Next is the hierarchy of needs. Maslow's hierarchy of needs concept assumes that lower-level needs must be satisfied or at least relatively satisfied before higher-level needs become motivators. The five needs composing this hierarchy are conative needs, meaning that they have a striving or motivational character. These needs, which Maslow often referred to as basic needs, can be arranged on a hierarchy or staircase, with each ascending step representing a higher need, but one less basic to survival. Lower-level needs have prepotency over higher-level needs. That is, they must be satisfied or mostly satisfied before higher-level needs become activated. The lowest level is the physiological needs. These are the most basic needs of any individual. It includes food and water, sufficient rest, clothing and shelter, overall health and reproduction. Physiological needs are the most prepotent of all. These are the only needs that can be completely satisfied or even overly satisfied. Maslow states that these basic physiological needs must be addressed before humans can move on to the next level of fulfillment. Next among the lower level needs is safety. Safety needs include physical security, stability, dependency, protection, and freedom from threatening forces such as war, terrorism, illness, fear, anxiety, danger, chaos, and natural disasters. The needs for law, order, and structure are also safety needs. Unlike physiological needs, safety needs cannot be overly satisfied. The next on the hierarchy of needs is the love and belongingness needs. The social needs on the third level of Maslow's hierarchy include the desire for friendship, the wish for a mate and children, the need to belong to a family, a club, a neighborhood, or a nation. Love and belongingness also include some aspects of sex and human contact, as well as the need to both give and receive love. The fourth level is the esteem needs. The higher needs, beginning with esteem, are ego-driven needs which include self-respect, confidence, competence, and knowledge that others hold them in high esteem. Maslow identified two levels of esteem needs, namely the reputation and self-esteem. Reputation is the perception of the prestige, recognition, or fame a person has achieved in the eyes of others, whereas Self-esteem is a person's own feeling of worth and confidence. The highest level is the self-actualization needs. Self-actualization describes the fulfillment of your full potential as a person. Self-actualization needs or self-actualization needs include self-fulfillment, the realization of all one's potential, and a desire to become creative in the full sense of the word. People who have reached the level of self-actualization become fully human, satisfying needs that others merely glimpse or never view at all. They are natural in the same sense that animals and infants are natural. That is, they express their basic human needs and do not allow them to be suppressed by culture. Next is about the deficiency and growth. This, this is simply about how these two things work together. In order to achieve growth, one must be able to fulfill and satisfy his deficiencies. In short, one must complete the lower levels before he can achieve the highest level on the hierarchy of needs. Moving on to the criticisms and limitations of Maslow's theory. One of the strengths of Maslow's theory is that his work makes sense and explains many aspects in our lives. On the other hand, Maslow's theories have received a lot of criticisms. People claim that Maslow's definitions are backed by little research. His descriptions aren't consistent with human behavior. Biographies were subjective, mostly educated white males. It did study women, but they were a small portion. They also claim that it is difficult to test the self-actualization or self-actualization. They also said that it is too abstract and lower needs must be met before self-actualization isn't true. Also, some other people says that part of his theory have been falsified. One example is that people in poverty are still able to function at a higher level such as love. Another one is that famous artists live in poverty yet reach self-actualization. Moving on to the concept of humanity. Number 1. Free choice over determinism. It showed that an individual has his free will in order to achieve his full potential. Number 2. Optimism over pessimism. It showed that an individual is continually motivated to fulfill his needs. Number 3. Teleology over causality. Number 4. Conscious over unconscious. It focused a lot on the conscious aspect of an individual. Number 4. Equal emphasis on culture and biology. And lastly, uniqueness over similarity. We will end this presentation with a quote from Sir Abraham Maslow. What a man can be, he must be. This need we call self-actualization. And that would be all. Thanks for listening.